Hello everyone, I'm Sujata Kaur from D3 Academy Dream.Dare.Do. If you dare to dream, you can do it. Today's topic is Newton's first law of motion. We are going to say with few examples that are very easy to understand. Please feel free to like, share and subscribe our channel and press bell icon. Today's objectives are Newton's first law of motion, force and its types, like and unlike parallel forces, resultant force. Okay. What is Newton's first law of motion? We have seen it in the last class, that is inertia. What is inertia? An object will not change its motion unless acted on by an unbalanced force. Okay. If there is one object, here it is a small object, until or unless we does not apply any force, it doesn't move from one place to the another place. Okay, there should be a unbalanced force. There should be an unbalanced force to move that item from one place to another place. Or you can say it as we cannot change its motion unless something acted on it or by an unbalanced force. Okay, if it is at rest, it will stay at rest. Okay, if it is in motion, it will remain at the same velocity. Objects with a greater mass have more inertia. It takes more force to change their motion. Today we are going to see this with an example. Here we have 300 kilogram of a big ball and one is a 30 kilogram of a ball. Okay, this 300 kilogram ball needs more force to move that ball. Okay, because it has a greater mass while compared to the 30 kilogram ball. Okay, this is a few simple example. Next, we are going to see this in a simple way. Okay, an object at rest will remain at rest. Here, ball is staying in a rest. It will remain in rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. Here, unbalanced force. What is unbalanced force here? The man is going to push a ball. Okay, that is unbalanced forces. An object in motion will continue with constant speed and direction. Here, unless acted on by an unbalanced force. Okay, this is what Newton's first law of motion. In this, an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted on by an unbalanced force. An object in motion will continue with constant speed and direction unless acted on by an unbalanced force. What is force? What is force? Pull or push. Okay, force is an external effort in the form of push or pull. Here you can able to see, right, what is push or pull, which includes produce the motion of a static body, stop a moving body, changes the direction of motion of a moving body. Here, force, which is an external effort in the form of push or pull, which produces the motion of a static body, stops a moving body, changes the direction of motion of a moving body. Okay, force has both magnitude and direction. Force has both magnitude and direction. Force has both magnitude and direction. So, it is a vector quantity. What are types of forces? There are two types of forces, that is like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces. Based on direction, it is divided into two types, that is like parallel forces and unlike parallel forces. Two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction parallel to each other are called as like parallel forces. Here you can easily see it in the example. These are like parallel forces. Here two or more forces of equal or unequal magnitude acting along the same direction. It's acting along the same direction and it is parallel to each other. So it is called parallel forces. Second one is the unlike parallel forces. If two or more equal forces or unequal forces act along opposite direction parallel to each other, then they are unlike parallel forces. This tug of war is a best example for unlike parallel forces, where two or more equal forces, here where two or more equal forces acts along the opposite direction. These are acting along the opposite direction, okay, parallel to each other. They are called unlike parallel forces. Next thing is a resultant force. What is resultant force? When several forces act simultaneously on the same body. When there are several forces, there are different kinds of forces act on a same body at the same time, act simultaneously at the same time on the same body. Then combined effect of the multiple forces can be represented by a single force, which is termed as resultant force. Okay, here when there are several types of forces act on the same body at the same time, this forms a combined effect of multiple forces that is represented by the single force. Okay, that is represented by the single force, that is called resultant force. Okay, this resultant force has action of forces, different action of forces, where we are going to see action of forces is diagrammable and resultant force. Parallel forces are acting in the same direction. These parallel forces we are seen in the direction, we are seen in the example, that is they are acting in the same direction. Where parallel unequal forces are acting in the opposite direction. Unequal forces are acting in the opposite direction. Parallel equal forces are acting in opposite direction in the same line of action. They are acting in the opposite direction, the same line of action. Okay, here we can see this in the example. First thing is parallel forces are acting in the same direction. They are acting in the same direction. So resultant force is F net is equal to F1 plus F1. They are acting in the same direction. So F1 plus F2. Same direction, there is a plus. Okay. If it's in opposite direction, there we can say it in a minus. Okay. So parallel unequal forces are acting in the opposite direction. Parallel unequal forces are acting in the opposite direction. So these are acting in the opposite direction. So we can able to see F net is equal to F1 minus F2 if F1 is bigger than F2. If force 1 is bigger than F2, and F net is equal to F2 minus F1 if F2 is bigger than F1. F net is directed along the greater force. The next thing is a parallel equal forces are acting in opposite direction in the same line of action. In the same line of actions, in a sense, F1 is equal to F2. The two forces are same. F1 is equal to F2. Then F net is equal to F1 minus F2. When F1 and F2 are same, the resultant force is 0. Okay. Thank you, students. Then we can see the next part B in the next video. So guys, a little progress each day adds up to big result. So start doing progress day by day and it will add up to a big result. Okay. See you soon. Stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe our channel, and please press bell icon and stay tuned for the next video. Thank you, student. See you soon. Bye bye.